Hello and welcome to the Good Boys Gone Bland Haunted Holiday Hotel. We hope you enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to Good Boys Gone Bland, Season 4, Episode 9, Bloody New Year. I'm your co-host, Denali, version 2.0, now with better self-control and a sense of place in the world.
I'm your co-host Ryan. I guess I wasn't. I didn't know there were updates. Yeah, I'm still back.
Whatever.
I guess I'm 1.0. Yeah.
Okay, so I was thinking like a reinvention of yourself for the new year.
Well, I guess I'll put an order in.
Now, were you guys updated when you had those tubes up your butt? Because I haven't gotten that, so I'm still at V0.
Well, see, apparently not, because I've had the tube as well.
Well, you see, I was just thinking that with the new year, we set our resolutions last episode, and we can kind of talk about our goals in addition to the resolutions, like who we want to be for the new year. I mean, we're entering in GBGBs year 3 because we already had a New Year's episode, so that was year 1, and then year 2 was 2021.
Yeah, I get how years work.
Yeah, so we got to think about now who we are as hosts. We've spent all these episodes just developing our characters. Are there new paths to carve? Maybe we can give each other. Yeah, I mean,
have you guys been doing bits this entire time? Because I'm honestly really like this.
Well, I kind of do that personality where it's like kind of like hyper neurotic person who kind of dominates the conversation, but really I'm kind of a chill guy in real life. So do you guys have any resolutions for each other? I figured it'd be fun to do resolutions for other people. Like maybe we can have an anonymous app where we can pitch resolutions for others.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say you don't want a resolution from me right now. I don't feel good, and it's gonna get mean really fast.
Okay, that's what I mean though. Like, let's do anonymous resolutions for each other. So I'm just gonna type in this space.
You're gonna. So wait. So hold on.
It's like
you're
Yelp.
gonna tell
It's like Yelp
us
for
a
your friend.
resolution.
Yeah.
And we have to guess who it's for.
Yeah. So before I didn't tell you guys, but before this episode, I had you text me resolutions, and I'm just gonna read them off, and it can either be from me or from the other one of you guys. Okay? So here we go, guys. So Ryan, the resolution from a random person. I'm just gonna read this. I haven't read this yet. Just be less of an annoying person in general. That's kind of me. I'm just gonna next one. I'm gonna do the next one. Jace, give Denali more money for no strings attached. That's another weird one. I don't even know who that. Ryan, come on, guys. You guys aren't even trying with these suggestions. Okay. I'm gonna read one for me. Let's see here. Me down here. Denali, no notes. No notes.
You
Must have nailed that one.
So great.
So no notes from me, but do you guys have any ideas for like an anonymous resolution app, like have it for other people, like maybe people can post their own profile and people can submit resolutions for them?
So
It's Yelp. It's personal Yelp. It's
kind of personal Yelp.
we're approaching kind of like a social credit idea, which we need to be very careful with.
Well, it's like once a year resolution app.
Oh, the app is locked like the rest of the time.
That's actually kind of clever because people like exclusivity.
Exactly.
Right? Like,
and then you can't review bomb really if it's like 364 days a year. You can't do, and who's going to be mad that long?
Yeah, maybe it opens up for a period like in early December or something, and you see whether or not people have completed their resolutions.
Yeah.
And that cycles into the next season.
Ooh,
And
you
then-
get to vote on whether or not you think they completed their resolutions.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, a voting system. And then people have to put down a certain, like a security deposit. And then if they don't meet it with the votes, they just
We
get
get
it
their
withdrawn
money.
from their account.
We get their money, right?
Yeah,
That's
exactly. We get their
creators
money.
of the app. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's say 99% of people don't hit the resolution, say, you know what it is, like get in shape or like stop smoking or something. We would just get their money. That seems
okay. Could there
not
be
great.
a possible lucrative opportunity for us? Even more so, I'm going to say, first off, this is going to make us rich.
Yeah, of course.
In any world where it's successful. But what if we go around and purposefully ruin people's resolutions? Or you at least pay somebody a small portion of it to ruin somebody they know's resolution.
So now,
so first you have to figure it out who it is.
You know, our strength is really coming up with an app idea and then the exact opposite of the app idea.
We form rackets so fast where this app comes in existence and we're already making an app that will ensure people don't meet the resolutions on our initial app, right? That's what the thing is so we're double dipping. People are paying us to ruin the resolutions so we get paid again. Jesus
I'm down with that one.
That's pretty good. So let's say they're at one of those work things. You know how like at work they're like they do every year where they like try to lose the most weight. It's kind of weird, right? It's kind of fucked up.
What are we talking about? Yeah.
So let's say you have a coworker who's going to beat you. You would just you can be like one of those mozzarella cheese sample guys who just kind of follows them around to kind of make sure they don't beat you.
This could pair well with our like Argonauts and
exactly.
our infiltration apps where like so we had these for the people who haven't been watching since the Ben Affleck season,
right? Which is some of you, yeah.
We have this idea for an app that gets people in and out of situations, right? Where like if you're in a situation you don't want to be in, there's one portion of the app that like you can have somebody come in and like make up an emergency for you. Or like act like they recognize you and you can get out of the conversation that you're in. But there's also an infiltrate part of the app where people can, when they get +1s to events, people can sell those on a marketplace.
Right.
Yeah, your cousin Debbie's Thanksgiving.
Right.
Yeah.
Or like a corporate happy hour.
Oh yeah. If you know a really sick like Thanksgiving dinner to go to and you don't want to be in yours, like if your Thanksgiving dinner is not that good, but your friend's is like way better, you can use both apps.
Yeah. Yes.
Exfiltrate,
man.
infiltrate.
Yeah. This could be used in that. Like, hey, my friend has this resolution. I really do not want her to make it. I really don't.
Well, okay. Okay, this is getting into the realm of ruining people's lives. So let me save this a little bit. Let me save this with an app that helps people get their resolutions.
Boo.
Okay, well, hang on, Ryan. Hang on. Hear me out. So let's say you think someone had an app and hired a hit on you to have a guy follow you around with mozzarella to keep you from losing weight for New Year's. Oh. So then you hit up the other app where it's the defensive make sure you hit your resolutions app. So it'll hire a linebacker to tackle any mozzarella samplers around you to the ground. Is this still fat shaming? A lot of resolutions are fat shaming.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's the obvious. This would be somebody who has an objective to lose weight.
Right.
Not that.
But this could be other things.
Has to or should, or that they don't look good even without weighing less than they do right now.
Wait, are we canceling or are we hyping up are we helping or hurting? Because you know, obviously somebody's gonna be like, oh man, you're a piece of shit. Look how you parked.
Well, yeah, I was thinking like mindful of just like being present in the moment. And then if you want to sabotage, just show them like a New York Times article in their face about
hey, check out this TikTok.
And then just put something in their face, and then the opposite will slap away any phones that will come near you. Is that anything?
Like you could go to like if you're that'd be a tough one if you made that if you like going to concerts but you wanted to be more in the now. You went out to take a picture and somebody flew in and was like, no! Just dropped your phone out of your hand.
And you know that there's always like two people following you around who are dueling at like every turn.
So you have the phone presenter and the phone slapper who are just like Krav Maga at all times.
Every time you take your phone out and it's not an emergency.
You're about to take a picture at Yosemite. Somebody like goes flying off the mountain. Like, you're safe. You can take the picture.
You know, I don't know if I'm as crazy about this one as our Argonauts, but can we give it a name? The Resolver?
I think like helpful handies, is like
No.
that'd be a great legalization of sex work. Soon as
Yeah, I was
that
about
hits.
to say this was gonna go get like I think instantly. Probably the second resolution that would be put on this app would be sex related.
Get laid, and then one guy stopping you from getting laid.
I need you to cock block my friend.
And you have like a Sardaukar army,
Yes.
with like
Yeah,
100 people.
So what if one person uses the app and a different person uses the app, and then a third person uses the same app to like try and cancel one of them out? We could have some like serious duels.
Yeah, like what if my my app is like destroy this country's government, and then that country then hires its own because our mercenaries are actually the best mercenaries in the world.
The problem is at the beginning, with startups, we're gonna have staffing shortages.
Right. We're gonna have to do them.
It's probably gonna have to be us. So we're only gonna offer in 3 cities.
Yeah. Los Angeles is gonna be tough for me to cover by myself. I'm gonna say that.
Square footage.
Yeah, I'm gonna be
the easiest job.
I'm gonna be a slapper. I think if I have one of those like scooters, I think I can quickly slap and get away from.
Oh, from location to location too. I mean, just
yeah.
it's
Slap
like
a phone.
it's like a map on like Grand Theft Auto, and there's like different quests open. You have to go from point to point.
I'll be 20 minutes late from slapping someone's phone out of their hands, but I'll do it. I'll make
Sorry.
Well, cool. Well, I think we got a good pitch. Just want to run that by you guys. But yeah, if our audience hasn't noticed yet, this is our New Year's special. We've been hitting all the holidays with our haunted holiday hotel season. Do you guys have like a favorite New Year's like countdown moment? I know we've lived through a few of them now. Do you guys have like because sometimes people go to like different events and venues, obviously not recently, but do you guys have a sweet countdown you've attended?
We're from Alaska.
Yeah, our countdowns are we kind of just watch the New York thing, huh? On TV.
Yeah.
At like 8:00, and then we go to bed.
So like we've witnessed a couple countdowns, right? Because it kind of goes like the ball drops. And people kind of go like, oh, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then a big like confetti, and it's like a big drop. Is there a way to kind of like change up countdowns to make them kind of more interesting? Because we've done the same thing like 100 years at least.
Like throw somebody in a volcano.
Throw someone in a volcano. I was thinking more like can we do like a bigger countdown? Or maybe like a delayed one. You know how like sometimes in EDM they like don't do the drop right away. They kind of do like 3 seconds of silence, and you're like, what? And then the beat comes in.
5, 4, 3, 5.
Oh, here it comes.
4,
oh, weird. Okay.
10, 9.
Did he say 10?
Okay.
Did he say 10?
I'm gonna get a drink. I'm gonna go get a drink. Do you want a drink?
2,
Yeah, give me a drink. I don't think he's gonna.
2, 1.
No, come back. I think he's gonna do it. I think he's gonna do it.
Is that it? Was that it?
Or like minimalist, like subtle drops. And there's not really like a big boom, and it's kind of more like a progressive house type of drop.
That's like if you accidentally go to bed or you meant to go to bed because you don't really care, and then somebody like lights a firework off in your room, but at like 2 a.m.
How about we have speaking about being more in the moment,
Yeah.
we have a shorter countdown. It's only like 1 second.
Oh my god.
Like 2 seconds. And so everybody who's in like Times Square,
Yeah.
nowadays they're sitting around, they're drinking and they're doing whatever, they're talking and everything like that. And then the ball starts doing whatever, and it starts at 10. Like everybody has time to like turn around, look at the ball, like get in the moment, and then start counting. And probably most people start counting down at like 8 or something, right? But let's have a countdown, and nobody can get their phones out. Have a countdown that just goes like 1, New Year's, and so everybody for like hours has to be staring at the ball, because if they're not, then it could be that 1 second, and they miss it.
So everyone says 1.
Yeah.
And then we say Happy New Year.
Yes.
Well, you hope.
You hope.
Yeah.
There's gonna be some people who are missing it. But
Right, and
if
they
you're
have to
there and you
over.
didn't miss it, and you were looking at the ball right when the screen turned to 1, Like, oh man, imagine how special that moment would be.
What if
That'd be
the
sick. I
New
like that.
Year's was like, like the Olympics,
Okay.
and it
Oh,
changed
so-
locations?
So wait, every 4 years?
Because New Year's kind of, because
Yeah.
New York kind of has like,
Right.
everybody watches them, but like, come on,
Yeah.
North Dakota.
Oh, and they can like win the lottery, and like this state won it this year. And there's a bunch of idiots who show up and like pee in their pants in a different state every year.
I pissed my pants to watch New Year's in front of Mount Rushmore. Wait, so that'd be good. So then you just like really stress out their infrastructure for
Yeah.
the big New Year's thing.
Absolutely.
It would probably drive a lot of innovation, and a lot of investment.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Okay, Jace, honestly, that is not a bad idea.
You know how they
Rockin'
have
New
the
Year's-
running of the torch?
Yeah,
They gotta roll that ball from place to place.
for a year.
And wherever it ends up.
Oh my god. Ball man could heist the ball.
Ball man.
No, we're introducing too many throwbacks. So, I was thinking, Jace, that I wasn't sure what you meant at first. Like you said, like there would be a New Year's in one country, and the rest of the countries would just kind of keep going with new months in 2021, and then only one country gets to go in the next year.
Jace really doesn't understand how New Year's works.
How about only one country goes into the new year, and the rest of them just stay in the same year,
Yeah.
but
Why
just with new months?
Why don't we have one entire year that's just devoted to New Year's? And then we don't have to celebrate it for like 365 years.
Oh, so every day we do the countdown
Yeah,
for the
every day.
rest of them.
For the rest of them. And we get the new glasses for every year.
Wait. So to save money, to get them out of the way, we're gonna be like, all right,
Inflation is gonna bite us in the ass if we wait and do only one a year. Like,
Yeah.
Can you imagine how expensive the glasses for 365 years
God.
from now is gonna be? Like 2386.
So
Like, they're gonna be so expensive.
so we're doing 2200 in August, guys. 2200 is tomorrow, so that's gonna be sick. It's a big one for us.
Yeah, that one has 2 zeros.
But then no more like Al Roker and like
No,
Ryan
exactly.
Seacrest.
That's the thing is, and they're not gonna be around in 365 years. We got to do them now.
So we tape them.
We tape them now. And then we broadcast them, and nobody has to stand around in the future because they're not gonna want to.
So wait, that crowd.
We're only stupid enough to stand around in a crowd for this right now.
The people in 2300, they're gonna be like, who the fuck are the Strokes?
Yeah.
Like, are they like
We had to
because the
find
same band?
365 different bands.
That's a pretty good idea.
I actually really think that's a hilarious idea.
I think you could executive order that legitimately.
It's like Isaac Asimov's Foundation, and like there's one TV channel that's devoted just to that, where like it only fires up on New Year's every day for the next 365 years.
The vault unlocks so they can watch the New Year special recorded 300 years ago.
It's like, how do we play this? It's on a DVD.
We're pure energy. Who are these meatbags?
I can't believe how much I love that idea.
Any other stupid ones? I think we've stretched that one pretty far.
What if we did a reverse countdown on the first of the year and had
Just
happy
rebounds
old
like-
year?
wait, go back.
2, 3.
Wait, are you, Jace? Are you saying like to roll it back to 2020 again?
I don't know.
That would be a great idea. That one before this COVID.
Anybody who's late on New Year's has to count until the next New Year.
Wait, so like if the companies that make those number glasses, like they can't really get a good 2023 glass because the 3 is kind of weird. They vote to do another year of 2022 or 21 to kind of get the glasses out for another good run.
2020
3
plus
glasses.
4.
there was a misprint, or they accidentally ordered 2 batches of 2022.
Yeah, and then they're kind of like, you know what? Like, does it really matter what the number is?
Yeah,
You know,
Biden comes on TV on Monday and he's like, so it looks like
So
we have
guys-
to do it again.
I just got back from the UN. We all agreed it should be 2021 again. I think we could do a second pass.
We already
I think-
looked at it. 2022 is not good.
It's not good. The glasses suck. I think that'll be good.
What?
I like the counting up. That's so stupid.
1,
There's no
2,
end, there's no end point.
And people just count until they starve to death on Times Square.
Yeah.
That'd be a good, it's been a while since like flash mobs have been popular. It would be pretty funny to get enough people in on it that like you could hear on TV after the New Year's drops that people are just like 1, 2, 3.
The polls going back up. Yeah. You know, I was thinking about old memes the other day because it's been about 10 years since kind of the inception of like the big, meme revolution. And like, you guys remember like Harlem Shake? That's been like 10 years now.
That's crazy.
It would be great to do just a GBGB Harlem Shake just for a 10-year anniversary, just the three of us. Is there any other good old memes we can bring back just for the 10-year anniversary?
Ice bucket challenge.
Yeah.
Was it 10? It was like 2015, right?
Yeah, no.
That was pretty good.
2014 maybe.
We should probably bring that back anyway. That was for a good cause.
Yeah.
There's planking. That was planking.
I like planking. Planking is hilarious.
Planking's good. It's harmless.
Well,
Wow.
yeah.
There's no way it could be harmful.
If
Planking.
it's harmless, you don't take planking as serious as I do.
Planking's good. Do these still? Do you think it's been long enough? These still kind of feel a little tacky.
Planking?
It
Oh
feels-
no.
When
I think it's back. I think,
think it's back?
So my whole like thing
Yeah.
with fads is I hate them in the moment, but then
Right.
there's a certain point when they come back and I like them again.
Yeah, like jazz.
Yeah.
Scatting.
Scatting? I don't
You guys remember when scatting was huge in 2011?
know.
Like legit, I want to take a scatting class. And get
I
really
don't
good.
think there is one. I'm gonna put that at. I'm just gonna.
I
go out and
guarantee
say
you
it.
he can find one in LA.
Dude, I'm gonna look up scatting classes near me
That's
right
probably
now.
how You're not gonna get what you think you're gonna get.
Scatting classes. I keep it autocorrected to skating. There's a lot of skating classes near me.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people who skate and spell it scat.
I'm gonna say jazz scat near me.
Oh, there's a studio on Sunset.
Scatonme.com. I think this one's good.
Is there an image gallery?
Okay, I did find a.
That's too stupid.
I did find a scatting class. It's for jazz vocals. They don't only teach scatting; they teach other stuff. But I think I'm gonna go in and be like, I only want the scat.
Shitting class.
Well, that's pretty cool, guys. But yeah, I'm excited for the new year. For GBGBs. I know we set a resolutions last time. I'm trying to remember what we said. I think I said I would juggle this year. I would learn to juggle
Yeah, I said I wanted to watch some more Ben Affleck movies.
more than last year, which is concerning and frightening. Jace, do you remember yours?
I think it was probably about lifting weights at the time. I don't think it was anything to do with the podcast. And I think I hit it. I think I hit it. so.
You think you hit it? Well, what's do you have a new resolution for 2022? Think big or small. I mean, I said juggling. That's
Did you learn how to
maybe
juggle?
not huge. I know it's been a day, man. I've
Next year.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Oh, this is next year's.
This is for next year. Yeah.
Oh.
I think we said resolutions last episode.
last episode.
Oh, we did? No.
Yeah.
You came up. We came up with one for me. Piecewise, I think.
Oh, we did.
Yeah,
That's
mine
right.
was fucked up. I don't remember.
Did you
Wait, so what's the question? What, are you asking me if I remember what we came up with last week, or if I have a personal new one for next year?
Yeah. Do you have
There's some new one.
Yeah. Do you have a new one?
Oh, more improv.
More improv. Okay,
More
GG. I love
improv.
it, dude. I love it. As your coach, I'm so psyched to hear that.
Yeah.
How about a resolution together as a group? Improv every episode.
Yeah. See about that.
Love it.
How about one episode a season? It's all improv and no movie.
No way.
We do
That'd be-
long form.
That'd be pretty
we
funny.
have to stay in the same bit.
And then maybe we can start a Patreon and then have it accessed to the people we pay to listen to it.
We pay people to listen to it.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be that's gonna have to be how it'll go. With that, on that note, we watched a movie, right?
Yeah.
We watched a movie for the Haunted Holiday Hotel. Do we wanna-
Coincidentally,
Promoting it to the mic.
there was a haunted holiday hotel.
there
Yeah,
was
It's kind of interesting, right? Like, we stumbled into this.
totally, and I don't want to spoil anything, but I'm glad.
Oh man, I am very glad. Like, because sometimes you need to know the like the bounds of human capability to really appreciate what you're seeing at any point in time. And I'm glad that we have reached one end of the filmmaking spectrum.
Oh yeah.
And we'll find out which end.
We will find out after this ad break.
Has something similar with scat.
Well, let's do our ad read, guys. Sorry, this is our first ad read as the GBGB, so we're just gonna try to get through this, guys. Like, it helps us kind of make money and support ourselves. So let's see here. Introducing GBGB's Miles Davis scat album. 3 boys scatting to Miles Davis. $9.99 at select stores. Enter the offer code GBGB to get the Miles Davis, the unauthorized scat album. Ryan, can we get sued for this? Is this fair use?
Well, we're not using anything, so
Yeah, you made it up on the spot.
I said Miles Davis. Is that?
yes.
He's got a lot of clout. Okay, let's run that back. You guys have a different ad. Let's do a different ad. All right, Jay, throw that one. Okay, give us an ad. Just read it straight from the copy.
Introducing, for only 2 payments of $4.99. Classes on Miles Davis scat from
No,
the Good Old
damn it, we finished the ad copy. Flip the. I know. Sorry, this is our first take.
Okay,
This is our first take. Let's flip the page. Just read the next ad. Let's get through this because our audience wants the content. They want to hear us talk about the movie, and we got to get through the ads.
2 cases of Good Boys Gone Bland themed beer brewed with Ryan Spit for only $14.72.
Enter the offer code. Offer code. Do the offer code, Jace.
Enter offer code Baby Loves Ryan Spit.
Sorry, what was the offer code, Jace?
Baby Loves Ryan Spit 15.
Sorry, guys, we couldn't get a better offer code. This company gets a lot of podcast ad reads. That's the last one they had. Ryan, you want to read the last one? Oh, Jace, is there more?
That'll bring the price down to $9.99.
Oh, on your first case?
Yep.
Okay.
We also read one. That was the deal we made with the ad.
Yeah. This episode brought to you by the 6th New Jersey Infantry Regiment, also called the 6th New Jersey Volunteers. They were a regiment of infantry from New Jersey that served in the Army of the Potomac during the American Civil War from 1851 to 1864. Okay, this is a long one. Let's see.
Well, just skim. You could skim through it.
Starring the original field staff officers, Colonel James T. Hatfield, and Lieutenant Colonel Simpson R. Stroud.
This sounds like you're reading from a Wikipedia page, Ryan.
Yes.
That's all. Are we getting paid for this?
That's all I got. I was literally going through Wikipedia, hitting random article, and I landed upon this regiment for this battalion or whatever. I don't know what it is. It's a regiment, I guess. I was there today. They were at Gettysburg.
Just read the offer code, Ryan.
The offer code is Quartermaster Joseph Woodward, 1862.
One
And that
free
gets
horse ride
something-
with purchase of 20 other horse rides.
Yes.
What's the service? Is it just like a zombie cavalry that you can just have at your?
No, it's an audiobook.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's
Sick.
somebody who plays each of the field staff officers. They reenact it for you.
Alrighty, well, there you have it, folks. If you guys can just support us, use our offer codes, it just really helps a little podcast like us out. And thanks for bearing with us on that. And now we can kind of get to the content that we were hoping to get to. So
we
who has
will never get a fucking ad from a company if they listen to that. Oh.
Who's got the synopsis this week?
Some poor bastard.
Don't know who did Gremlins. Was it Ryan?
Wait, so hold on. If I didn't know you did that summer.
Yeah. No, you did not. So we just went through this, Ryan.
Yeah.
So I believe it's gonna be you, right? It's gonna be you for this
Dude.
one.
I don't understand how you keep tricking me into this.
Listen, Ryan, I know you don't like giving the synopsises. We've been doing this for a while. You don't have to be nervous anymore. Me and Jace just take the synopsis and run with it. You can give a fair, straight down the middle synopsis with this one, with this movie that we don't have any opinions on yet. This is just going to be a synopsis. What's the movie about?
Okay, well, actually, I'll give you a little bit of synopsis. I wrote a review for this movie on my letterbox today.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I could do that. I could tell you what I thought about it.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Is it fair? Is it kind of like in the middle?
It describes the movie slightly. There are like scene descriptions, I guess.
Sweet.
But
Yeah,
I'll figure it out. So this movie was called Bloody New Year. And honestly, I think most people were familiar with this because of the poster. The poster's really cool. The poster is just like skeleton. He's like, I guess he's got a party popper or something. He's got a party hat. There's like confetti and a disco ball. And that's sort of the best part. And so the idea is that there are these group of friends, and played by people you have never heard of before, and they're all Welsh. So you got to get over that. Like if that's something that's like if there's an entry
gonna be a
barrier
problem
with people from Wales, I don't know if you're gonna be able to get into this one. I sure didn't. Then they're all hanging out at some sort of carnival, and there's some thugs, and they just sort of fight each other for a very long time. And for some reason, a boat comes into play. I don't know if it's ever explained why or how. And our protagonists get on the boat, and they're somewhere near England. And they go out into the water, and the boat inexplicably sinks, and they have to go to shore in the nearest island they can find. And they get up there, and they find an abandoned hotel. Well, it doesn't really look abandoned, but they find that it is abandoned. And when they get in, even though it's summer outside, inside the hotel, it's what appears to be New Year's Eve. And that's literally where the plot ends. And the rest of it, we'll just say the rest of it begins. There's hold on, wait a second.
You know, I thought it was British tourists at like an American fair because they didn't introduce a single other person with speaking lines besides the American. I was like, oh, my friend just showed up, and I was like, what in the fuck?
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry, go ahead.
So yeah, this is just after this point, after they wash up on the island and find the hotel, it's just a collection of scenes. Some of them are about ghosts doing stuff, like turning the pages of a magazine. Other scenes are just people dying for no reason at all. Sometimes the ghosts explode. Pretty cool. And there's one character who her main character trait is that she does not understand or comprehend how nets work. and that is relevant multiple times.
Okay, Ryan, this is starting to sound like a review. This
The
is not
editor,
a
the editor
description.
of this movie must have been a dog whose owner sent in his resume as a prank. And then the hiring coordinator fell for it. And then the dog's owner thought he was in too deep and he couldn't back out. So he just put a coat on the dog and sent him into work. And then eventually the dog got promoted several times to other things like key grip and director and writer. And I literally am not joking when I say then the movie just sort of ends.
Okay, so we can talk about what we think about the movie after that.
I'm just describing the movie.
Yeah, right. It's straight down the middle. When I heard those Welsh accent, or I guess I thought it was British at the time. I couldn't tell. I was like, is this a horror? Is it like bloody New Year? Like bloody as in like they say like effing and they say bloody instead. I'm like, is this gonna actually be bloody?
The answer was no.
It wasn't really, was it?
We got to just start fucking talking about this movie because it is so good, you guys.
Okay, so I'll say this. The first scare kind of got me, where she gets pulled through the mirror.
That was the high of the movie. It was like one of those. It was like if a drop tower went into the ground. Like the high of the movie in this amusement park was at the very, very beginning.
Beginning was cool. It was a montage of an old party, and this girl gets pulled through a mirror really suddenly, and it was kind of creepy, and it was cool. But conceptually, you know, it's about like some teens, right, in a hotel, and they get kind of semi-transported into like a 1960s New Year's party, but this house is kind of just haunted by the party members, right?
I have no clue, I guess.
Yeah, okay. Hold on. Let's break it down.
Yeah. Okay.
So, in 1959,
yeah,
flying over this island was an experimental craft created by the government to reflect radar. Which
anti-radar. Yeah.
Now we know is really just paint. So that was stupid. But this device, you know, we're shown on a TV screen at some point in the middle of it. There's a scientist who's like, "You're destroying the laws of time and space. This is a tragedy. You must never do this." And the other scientist is like, "Can I talk, please?" And then the moderator's like, "We must be civil. We gotta give equal talking time to everybody." He's like, "Can I talk, please? Can I?" And the other guy's like, "Exactly. He's destroying everything that we care and we love for." And anyway, what they meant to do was to show that this plane was flying around trying to do the anti-radar thing, and it crashed on the island the night of the New Year's party.
Right.
And for whatever reason, that ripped a hole in the space-time continuum on this island and then forced everybody to be trapped in time. And so when they die on the island, they're stuck there. They become older guys. That part doesn't really make sense, but
yeah, like
anyway.
Why are they yeah, thank you, Jay. That does clear things up. They kind of said it bends light and time or whatever. It creates like kind of a time portal. But why are they killing so weird? You know, like I get they kind of lost their minds a little bit because they're, you know, it's kind of a shitty situation. But like, it's a little bit of a head scratcher.
What's the like if you kill them and you add them to the ghost repertoire, like that's just awkward. Like I don't want to see you at the dance after you scratch my face and inexplicably kill me.
Oh my god, guys! Thank you, Jace, for
we can go kill by kill. Yeah,
we should. Because there are characters in this movie who could just keel over. Yeah, who just like drop. They're like, we could only really afford 3 villains, and there's like 6 people we have to kill. So could some of you just like die?
Yeah, it seems like they could only keep like 3 people employed at one time.
Yeah,
because people can kind of die, but then just kind of come back. It's like a revolving door of the same couple people.
And at one point, I was like, "Is that the same character as earlier, or is this like a new character where the same actor is playing?" I'm confused because you never get a conversation that explains like their relationships with each other.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm not sure if. At some point, there's this woman who gets killed by some sort of net contraption,
right?
And this is like her second run-in with a net. Let's be real.
Yeah.
And she comes back, but is dead and is faking that she's alive.
Right.
And then at the end of the movie, there's other people who look a lot like her. And I'm not sure whether or not it was the same actress.
It could have been. Yeah, I know what you mean, Ryan. There was a lot of like slap some silver makeup on them, and they're like, they're a zombie now.
If that's the same character or what?
Yeah. Well, let's get to the first kill, I guess, in this movie, which is pretty wild, right? Like Spud, the lonely pervert.
Oh, Tater.
The lonely
Yeah.
yes, the lonely pervert.
He's like in front of this movie screen, and he's making them all laugh by imitating people on the screen. You know, the classic joke. And then one of the people on the screen, it flash cuts to a guy painted in black and white who just jumps on his back, it was a pretty funny gag. And the guy scratches his face and kills him.
Literally.
He was alive until the scratch on the face happened, and then the ghost goes, "Whoa!" Gets dragged up off screen, shoots into the camera.
All of this, all the appearing and disappearing is done by stop motion, but with humans. So like, it's really, it just does not make it. I'm trying to like say, okay, they didn't know how to like have actual special effects, so they just kind of have to like. One frame he's on the TV screen, the next frame he's not, and then the next frame he's standing in front of the TV screen, and that's how they like get him to come out of it.
Yeah,
it's absolutely amazing.
His friends didn't really seem too concerned that he was brutally murdered.
Untrue. Well, because I guess maybe 4 of them.
Okay.
There's a couple times where like all the characters will be completely emotionless, especially if there's 1 or 2 characters on screen. They are 100% emotionless. But at random points in time, like 1 murder out of a dozen, one of the women will start fucking screaming like there's no tomorrow, and then like 5 seconds later be okay.
Watching Spud die, and then I think you're right, Jace. One of them was concerned about watching Spud die. And later she's on the swing like 5 seconds later. And she was like, "Ah, poor Spud."
Anyways. And then there's times where like the characters will be running out of the house to safety. We gotta go this direction. And then like something will catch their attention and they're like, okay, let's go. I'll go back. Let's go back in the house. Let's retrace our steps for the next 5 minutes on screen.
A ghost. Oh, it's gone.
Yeah, well,
hey, you want to go play pool?
No.
What was with that? Yes, Jay, seeing the ghosts and then going back to your life, just kind of like, I'm gonna take a bubble bath with my eyes closed now after seeing that ghost.
I saw a review of the new Ghostbusters movie, and apparently there's a similar reaction, like where he said like people's reaction to finding out ghosts are real is like when they see a novelty license plate.
Oh, how about that? Okay, I will say, the scene you mentioned, the net scene, Ryan. We saw the Leslie died from the net, or it was Carol
too.
Yeah, and then the guy in the room, of all the things in the room that I expected to kill him, seaweed monster coming out of a tablecloth, I think was probably near the bottom. Well, that was a surprise.
Really? Okay, I totally won the pot then.
So, quick side note. Leslie is killed by getting a hole punched through her stomach. Oh wait, no, she's already dead.
No, that was zombie Leslie.
Oh god.
That was okay. So there's like 3 moments in the movie that are cool, and that's one of them.
Yeah, where she's revealed to be a zombie.
Revealed that she's dead because somebody punched. At first, I was like, "Oh shit, this dude's Superman."
This Carney. Why were those? Okay.
So, let's not even get into the Carnies, dude.
The Carnies were chasing the teens because they made them mad, right? But like those Carnies, I thought they were like ghosts, but they're not. They got killed by the ghosts. So why were they so mad?
They had a boat too, and they were like,
and they were also like jumping through windows and bursting through walls before they were zombies. So like,
Jesus.
Did they have a single line in the movie? Any one of them?
No. Oh, I think at the beginning when they were taunting the girl, they probably said like,
yeah, they're like Spinner. And I think that was their only line.
And then otherwise, it's just like popping their head through a wall, like.
Yeah.
So wait. So there's a woman who does not comprehend strings. And did you guys notice that the guy chops like once by her left hand, and then the whole net is like completely deconstructed, and she just crawls out of the top of it?
There's inaccurate net physics in this.
Yeah. And she's like struggling. She's like, acting like it's like strangling her. And then he's like, stop moving. And she's like, oh, okay. And she like literally stops moving.
The acting was bad. They did try to set it up in that the back of the net was hooking her.
Yeah.
And was constricting around her.
There was like, nets and hooks involved at some point.
And a ghost rope.
The ghost rope was never spoken of again.
Yeah, it kind of tried to wrap its way around a leg, and then the cleaver chop solved the entire
situation.
Yeah.
Was it the same? Do you think the seaweed man tablecloth guy was responsible for the net and the rope?
Who the fuck is seaweed guy?
Who was the seaweed guy?
Well, but who's gargoyle? Who's
so what is the seaweed guy? Like, who hit Tom with the thingy?
Yeah,
Tom's the guy that got killed by the seaweed guy, but like
Tom got stabbed from behind, but it was never explained who stabbed him.
Right?
And he didn't die, but he
did. He was
like,
zombified.
amnesia.
Tom was zombified.
Eventually, I think he was alive, and then he had a delayed death, and then eventually came back as a zombie.
Oh Jesus. Okay, so that means plane crashed. There was a seaweed monster on the island, but it was totally separate from the party, I think.
Yeah.
And he
somehow died of old age, and then it turned into a zombie.
He did die separately. So that's explained. The gargoyle coming out of the wood was also a wooden gargoyle, was separate. It was a weird island.
Yes. Because the wooden gargoyle looked a lot like a puppet.
It looked like turkey from Thanksgiving.
It looked like turkey.
Also,
straight up like turkey.
The problem is the wooden gargoyle has flesh and blood. If you slash the wooden gargoyle, it very much looks like meat.
And then falls to the ground, disapparates, reappears. This
Yeah,
whole
it's
hotel is insane.
It's an immortal gargoyle. Also, the elevator. Can we talk about the elevator swallow?
Where it's a guy reaching through a balloon.
Through latex. Yeah,
The
poorly
you
painted
can see
latex.
the paint, like stretching and breaking. There's a woman who's in an elevator, and at some point, the elevator wall turns into a man who's like behind a small layer of latex, and he swallows her. And via the magic of stop motion, she ends up, she becomes part of the wall also.
Yeah. Yeah, she gets sucked in the wall.
And Rick is really sad about it.
Yeah, he's like, no.
Anyways, let's go play pool.
One of the really good lines after someone dies, and I guess forgive me for jumping around, but after the Spud death, I remember like one of the guys like Jan who's freaking out, and he's like, "Calm down, Jan. He probably had an electric shock and died that way."
That would explain the burns.
And he was like, "See, it's fine." And he kind of like moves. He's trying to comfort her, and he's totally unbothered the fact that his friend just was killed in front of him.
We're like, we didn't really like him anyway, so this is a bonus for our trip.
And like what? And also, what burns? He had scratches on his face that killed him. Like there was no burns involved.
Yeah, he saw the ghost that scratched his face.
We keep jumping around in the scene where
there's so much. Yeah.
Sorry, what was his name? Who Rick? Or who is Tom the person who goes and stabs a seaweed monster?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure there was a gaffe in that first scene, and I think the actor actually stabbed the person in the seaweed costume because he stabbed the guy's like, oh fuck. And then they cut, and then he stabs him again, and there's less of a reaction. I think some motherfucker got stabbed with it.
Did you guys notice how many times that like Tom, for instance, was the worst at this? But like, it was obvious that the director was like action, and Tom was like not really paying attention. It would take him a minute to do something. It was so good. He would stab something, and then it would be a close up of like the stab or whatever, and then it would be a medium shot of Tom standing there like getting ready to stab again, and he would just be frozen. Then he'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I noticed that with the seaweed monster where it first pops out and he's just kind of staring at it.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh.
I think they had to like stab at him. going back to the editing, like there was a couple. There was two more instances I want to bring up. Number one, there was one time where the edit kept flashing back to grass, like
Yeah.
little weeds, and it looked like the camera was like running through weeds, Evil Dead style, and it was supposed to represent the characters running through a field like quickly, like in a hurry. And then it would cut between the weeds and the characters. Weeds, characters running. Weeds, characters running. But the characters were running through like a parking lot. And
It was
there was no grass. They were on the grass.
it was a decision. Then that's what I was gonna kind of get to, is that this movie's kind of goofy like that. It will just kind of have these moments focus on one thing, like during the carnival scene, they kept flashing back to the ship ride that kind of goes up and down and back and forth.
Yes.
They flashed back to it like 8 times, and also just kind of had one shot where it was like 20 seconds on it, and I was like, oh, that's gonna come up later, and just never did.
You know what? They didn't get like a scream track to dub in over the top. They just used the sound from that recording of the actual people on that ship ride. And so like the screams aren't that enthusiastic, right? Like it's like when you go to an amusement park, it doesn't sound like it does in the movies. And
Yeah.
in the movies, it's all perfect and everybody screams at the right times. In this movie, it's just like, ah, oh, ah, in the background of every scene for the first 15 minutes.
Well, I actually did read that this was just footage from an actual unpaid, like, people at amusement park.
Yeah.
So that actually makes sense. There was also that haunted house scene where I thought that was going to be the trigger point, but it would just kind of, I was like, whoa, this is cool. It's all creepy and interesting.
Yeah.
And then they're out of the haunted house. And I was like, oh, okay, that was just kind of nothing, huh?
So when that scene ended, I think it ended by a truck, like,
Doing thousands of dollars in property damage to this place to blow a hole through it.
I wrote, what is happening on my TV screen? I think it was the first time in this whole podcast where I've been actually perplexed. Like, no joke, not playing it up. I like, thanks killing. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense, but I'm not perplexed as to what's happening on the screen at that moment in time. I'm perplexed, but like, I was perplexed about how it connects to the greater picture. But like, in this movie, there was large chunks of time where like, I just did not understand what was going on.
Yeah.
She could have killed multiple kids by ramming that vehicle into that ride, not knowing where anybody was. It was just like,
and the screen was black until it happened. The screen was black for portions of this movie, and nothing was happening. It was just like, let's just put some black frames in there, and that'll be great.
Yeah, I agree, Ryan. There was multiple times where, I paused it for a sec and was like, wait a sec, what was that I just saw? And I did at least like a dozen rewinds where I was like, did he just die? Or was that a zombie? And the carnies kept showing up again. I'm like, fuck these carnies again. Like, you haven't shown a carny in like an hour. And another carny just showed up again with a necklace.
What were they doing for so long that they were all separated? And like the dad shows up and then the younger one shows up and then the next one. Dude, there were so many scenes in this movie where it was literally just people walking to and from locations. It was like 30. You don't need to show every exposition between locations with the same shot of people like.
And the funny thing is, that was the only transition scenes in the whole fucking movie. There's like, if they're in the house, there's no transition scenes. But if like two characters are together and they're walking around, you have to get a minute of footage about how they got to the location that they're currently at. And can we please answer the question about what happened when Rick and I think maybe it was Janet at this point were in the woods and the camera was like running at them multiple times?
Yeah.
Right? And they dodged it. And
the Invisible Man.
Okay. I'm just spitballing here. Am I crazy, or did they replay the same footage about 7 times?
You're not crazy. I was good.
I legit was like, what piece of technology am I watching this on that the record can skip? Like, it was the same footage over and over for a long time.
Yeah, I literally remember that scene where things are just it's flying at them. I'm like, oh, is it kind of like an invisible horse that's coming at him? And they kind of get pulled apart. They're like, whoa, whoa, and then they're kind of out of the woods, and they're just like, huh, that was weird. And then they find a plane.
Yeah.
It was
Right at that point I wrote down like this movie is just a collection of scenes. It's like a skit. It's like a skit comedy show where like and the bit is that nobody knows how to make anything scary, right? Like the first time we're introduced to a ghost, he closes a magazine. The second time he like rearranges the balls on a pool table.
It was scary. He made a weird whooshing noise.
Yeah, thematically, it really didn't set in stone whether or not all of these ghosts were vindictive or not. But maybe they were trying. Maybe somewhere down the line, somebody was trying to impart that. They didn't do it though.
Yeah,
like the housekeeper.
Yeah,
not
gave
vindictive.
him a blanket.
Yeah,
like if it's a horror movie, I think the first thing that your ghost does should not be make sure that all the people are comfortable and then leave.
Okay, I thought that was pretty creepy when the ghost waitress, or not waitress, when the ghost maid kind of like walks down the door, appears out of nowhere, and comes in, and she has no idea something's wrong. I thought that was a little creepy. Like,
yeah, and then she just leaves, and it's not brought up again.
I thought that added an interesting atmosphere. At least
it was very Twin Peaks.
Yeah, there it is, Jace. I I texted Jason as I was like, I bet you Ryan's gonna mention Twin Peaks at some point.
No.
Yeah, I know. But that's because I agree. Because like I got that same vibe where it was kind of odd, a little creepy, but also kind of funny, like in a really strange way. There was like towards the end where Rick and was it Janice, the American girl, Carol, they're together, and there's like they're in that waltz scene, and then the ghost is like, oh, you guys are the last contestants, and he's like, what are you? And she's like, oh, silence from the dance floor or something, and I'm like, oh, haha, she's being cryptic. But then she's like, years ago there was an experiment, and I was like, oh, she's answering the question, and she just kind of talks about what happened in a really direct way. And he's like, and a plane crashed here.
And then it's pretty cool after that, right? Like she doesn't do anything else.
Yeah, she kind of lets them leave. She does scare them behind the sign when they're running out. She's like, ha! But then she lets them go.
It was the whole movie was like a haunted house. Like,
yeah.
There's people just walking around, and then a zombie will jump out and be like, oh, and then the people are like, oh, ha ha, ha. And
Yeah,
then they'll go into a room,
here.
and it'll happen again. I just don't understand what was going on.
I think we were watching a carny ride, like the whole movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of eclectic. It's like every single type of scare you could think of put into one really badly.
Right.
Yeah, I think it was like an effects guy's kind of like what's that called? Like where you just kind of have like a portfolio. Yeah, it's like his portfolio. Where he's just like, hey, check this movie. I did a lot of a balloon thing. I reached for the balloon that's painted. I see where I knocked that book closed, and you can kind of see my fingers a little bit in the side of the screen.
Remember when I put on that weird glove and attacked this woman, and she just kind of stood there?
I also feel like the zombies aren't that strong.
Okay,
Jace, you look like good.
They're weak as fuck.
Yeah, it's like one gets its head blown up as a ghost. The other zombies, it's like the hand gets cut off like very easily by shutting a gate. Stare fart.
Stare fart?
The stairs
That's
fart.
not the word I thought you were gonna say.
When Rick has the shotgun with 2 shots.
Yeah.
And the ghost is on the fucking stairs. And he shoots her in the stomach. It's like a whooping fart. And she's like, ah! He shoots her again. And then nothing happens. She just falls down dead, like, ah.
Are you talking about where he shoots her in the stomach and a bunch of goo farts out of her stomach?
Yes. But it just makes like a whoopee. They definitely just used a whoopee cushion, I think. He was just like,
You can see it looks like there's like a hose, and the end of the hose like isn't tied down. It's just like flapping in the wind.
Okay, yeah, I do remember that scene.
And so that's the thing too. Is like he shoots her and her stomach gets exploded, and she's like totally okay with it. And then he shoots her again, and literally nothing
effect.
happens to her. And she's like, "Ah," and she falls over. Like that's what I mean about this movie is like they had the opportunity to make her death like really gruesome. They had the fart machine. She's been holding that thing in for a while, and the gunshot just let it go.
Why didn't they use the fart machine with every kill?
I know, right?
Or like, why the second shot? Why not just have her die with the fart machine?
They had to set up the next scene where she's like, shoot it. He's like, there aren't any more cartridges.
Oh yeah, the 2 shots.
He could have said it only had one.
It could have been.
There you go. There you go.
Do the fart for both
You don't have
shots.
to shoot.
Why couldn't we get like a farting seaweed monster when he got stabbed?
Right?
Or-
If anything, that would have made so much more sense than this like normal human woman being shot in the stomach.
Yeah, I think if he stabbed the seaweed monster in the side and he's like, ah, my fart goo, and it kind of just farts out of him, and he's like, no, and then it's kind of like, and then it uncovers a sign that says Fart Goo Island, and that's kind of like its thing.
Ooh.
This is like ripe for parody, this movie, because like if you just take the actual movie and change it like the smallest bit, it would be this would be a side splitter.
I think that might actually be a really good idea.
Like
This movie
Right,
was
like-
a scary movie.
Yeah.
Like,
right, take certain slices out, you know, maybe redub some stuff, riff tracks it a little bit.
yeah, totally.
Put actual Scooby-Doo in it.
I mean, this was basically a Scooby-Doo movie minus
It was
the dog.
not, yeah, it was not much different. Like it wasn't as scary as Scooby-Doo.
Well, okay, let's talk about the last kills in this movie, because you have Rick, who gets, he gets called back by his ghost girlfriend.
Leave her.
It's very easy to trick.
Leave her. I'm leaving Yuri 14 times out of 10 in that situation.
Also,
very
like, the
obvious.
same- it's also the same plot as Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings.
I haven't seen it yet.
That is
but,
true.
I'll
It
take your
is.
word for it. But I mean, he goes back for the ghost girlfriend, and then he like falls through seaweed, and I gets a boat prop and grinds his face off.
Yeah, that was moment number 3 in this movie. That was cool. Like that was actually heavy metal. That was some like Pet Sematary 2 stuff.
That was wild, yeah. And then I guess the girl gets sucked into the canoe, which was just kind of like, huh, okay.
I have an issue with that.
Yeah.
What
Right.
extent does this island have on controlling things around it? Like as soon as that boat was in the water and not touching the ground, should have been
Yeah.
safe. Should have been fair
Right, yeah,
game. I think
I thought so
she
too.
should have gotten out.
Well,
That-
in this movie, in the logic of this movie, the floorboards grew hands,
Yeah.
and the hands were wearing gloves.
Well, I thought they were party gloves from the 60s.
Right, but the floorboard, but like if you're so if you're a house,
Okay,
and you're haunted,
for sure.
and you can make the walls grow hands, and you can make
Okay.
let's say you can make the floorboards grow, the wooden floorboards,
Okay,
they can grow hands.
I'm in the headspace, yeah.
Okay. How do you how are those hands wearing gloves as soon as they're made?
Apropos, not the right word.
Thank you.
the house is not haunted. The ghosts are reaching through the material of the house.
Thank you, Jace.
So if the
they're
ghost
ghost
died
gloves.
with gloves on,
yes.
Fingerless gloves.
No, they're regular gloves. They're with
Oh,
fingers.
They had fingers.
They're fingerful gloves.
I was just imagining the type of person who would make this movie would wear fingerless gloves.
yeah, that doesn't really is the whole.
Why are these guys so ticked off? Like, why are they all so mad that they have to kill everybody?
We could go back. Yeah, they explained the whole situation. If it was like somebody who had half a year's degree in science, like
Yeah.
half a 4-year degree, they'd be like, okay, wait, don't kill me. I'll go get a scientist. You guys will be out of here next week.
Wow, that sucks. You guys were here for like 27 years, but like we could probably fix this if we made this. I would just be like, well, hold on. Why did you grind that guy's face off with a printer? Holy shit. Weren't you guys just teens at a party?
Well, yeah.
They're well.
When they were all in that ballroom and the zombies were swarming, I would have been like, guys, wait 1 second before you do this. 1 second. Who was the seaweed guy? Just get someone just to shout it out.
I gotta know.
I gotta know who's the seaweed guy. Do whatever you want afterwards. Are they gonna be like, who's the seaweed? Like, do they know?
They know about
Like,
the seaweed.
The zombies stop. They're like, wait, what the fuck? Do you guys know about a seaweed guy?
Who the fuck? Who's seaweed guy?
Seaweed guy? I don't fucking know a seaweed guy. Wait, where was he?
Can you describe him for me?
Yeah, he was in the shed with the tablecloth that was.
Oh wait,
green.
no, nobody
No,
goes in the shed.
No one goes in the shed.
No.
No idea
That
about
was
the
your
shed.
first mistake.
No, everything in the house was us. We did all those murders. The shed.
Do you think they know about the net and they're like, did the net get out? Did you leave the door? Did you make sure the net was in there?
You didn't close the door?
Oh fuck.
The net is what was shooting around in the grass that they had to dodge 7 times.
Fucking net. I hate that thing. That thing's actually has nothing to do with the haunting. It's just a government net. It's crazy. Anyways, we are gonna murder you guys now.
Get over here.
Well, you guys want to get into our reviews for this movie?
Sure.
Spiritometer. We watched. I mean, we're on episode 9, but we watched 10 movies of a given theme. We're on holiday horror this season. Our meter this season is the Spiritometer, where we judge how holiday themed is this movie. This holiday was New Year's. We watched Bloody New Year. Thinking about it, I wrote down when the first instance of Happy New Year's was said. This was 17 minutes in. There wasn't a lot of New Year stuff in here. There wasn't a lot of there was fireworks shooting off, but it was by accident in one scene. That was kind of a jump scare. Didn't really go anywhere. Didn't do anything.
Didn't make any sense either.
It was kind of just in a closet, and it had no consequence. You're like, huh, that was weird. And then there was nothing else. There was no New Year's kills. I was expecting someone to, I don't know, get a ball dropped on them, or like get exploded by a firework.
Party popper, like through the eyeball, right?
Oh, that's
Ooh.
sick. Party popper through the eyeball. Maybe one of those, like, you know, those kazoo things where unwraps through the eyeball.
Oh yeah.
Couple.
That's what I thought I was saying.
Okay, party popper would work too. Party popper through the eyeball. Couple eyeball ones.
Oh, so a party popper, the one that like the confetti comes out?
Yeah, confetti comes out.
Okay, stick that in his mouth, pop it, and the confetti comes out the nose.
That's pretty
Oh.
funny. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. We'll put that on the alternates.
And that's like you get two scenes. You get from the front where it's funny and
Yeah.
it comes out the nose, and then you get
Oh,
the
yeah.
side shot and the back of their heads exploded out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's badass. Okay, I'll move it up the alternate list. Maybe Roman candle up the butt.
Oh, whoa.
We'll talk about it. Okay, so for
belly
this,
button, if anything, man. Are you guys' belly button sensitive? My belly button's pretty sensitive.
not really. I
Mine
guess like the
smells.
normal amount, probably.
Mine, like, I get like a weird feeling, like a weird, like, like a dread feeling if I touch my belly button.
Isn't that
Well,
because
that's
it's
your-
connected to like a pretty big nerve?
My
That's-
soul.
It's because it's where your skin comes together, and if you touch it too hard, all your skin comes off.
It comes up. Oh, no, get back in there! Oh.
Is that the
just
tip of the
unwraps.
onion?
Yeah, it's where the skin
That's the
comes.
tip of the human onion.
Yeah, I think you told me that, Jace. You told me that in like 9th grade. It's where the skin comes together. Anyways, so this movie wasn't very Thanksgiving, or it wasn't Thanksgiving
It really
either.
wasn't Thanksgiving.
It really wasn't at all, and also it wasn't New Year's Eve. If I want to get back on topic, they mentioned New Year's. They mentioned this thing happened at New Year's. There was a New Year's party, but they didn't engage with the party in the way I thought they would. They just engaged with the ghosts coming out of the party. So it wasn't very New Year's themed in that way. We didn't get New Year's killed. We got maybe one Happy New Year throughout the whole movie. And the movie takes place in mid-July, as some of the characters say. So with that, I'm probably going to have to give it kind of close to baseline. I think I'm going to have to give it maybe I'm going between 1 or 2, because literally it's called Bloody New Year. A New Year's happened, but they're just talking about a holiday that happened 27 years ago. They're not really talking about it's the holiday now. I'll give it a 1.5. I'll strike it through the middle. I'm going to give it a slight edge because I did see a firework go off. But yeah, 1.5 on the spiritometer. Not very New Year's-y. I'm not in the mood from this movie.
Yeah, I agree with you, Denali. And I think, once again, we keep going back to, I don't think I came up with this. I think one of you did. But would this movie be any different if the holiday was different? Right? And I don't think it would. I mean, half of the decorations for the New Year's party are Christmas decorations.
Yeah.
And like the first thing they do is say, "Oh, these pine trees are fresh." Ha ha ha. So I think there's nothing I can do but give this movie a 1, because that's pretty much where my scale bottoms out. Like zeros are saved for special occasions. So I have to go with a 1. I counted 2 Happy New Years, right? And like I gave a pretty low score. I think we all did too. I Know What You Did Last Summer. And that had like 10. That had 10 references. Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Nothing else to say about that.
Well, if it was a different holiday, you wouldn't have the fireworks scene.
You probably still would, because that wasn't connected to the rest.
Yeah,
of
that's
it,
true.
like, logically. that scene occurred after they turned on a fuse box that they couldn't find, even though it was daylight, and they spent 2 minutes trying to light a candle, and they realized that the fuse box was just behind the woman.
Yeah. So, all right, that's a 1 and a 1.5. Jace, what do we got for the spiritometer?
You know, I was like kind of amazed the first time that I found out that almond milk was a thing. Like, you know, you can process almonds down into milk.
Yes, very small teats.
And I don't think if you tried to, you know, get the New Year's out of this movie, it just looked like a blended turd. I don't know. I can't add anything additional. And I wouldn't get off that island. So it's a 1. I don't get any additional points to this movie for being able to fight the bad guy.
Oh, you don't think you'll be able to fuck him up?
They just rejuvenate and
they just kill everybody all the time.
And as soon as you get in the boat to leave, you get sucked through the floorboards. It's unfair.
Yeah. Okay.
This isn't the kind of horror movie that I want to get stuck in, and it did not make me feel like it was the New Year.
Okay. Cage match. You and one of the zombie guys outside of the haunted house. Just octagon.
Oh,
3 rounds.
Yeah, I'm winning that.
Easy.
But
that's like probably submission.
In movie lore wise,
TKO.
TK. Okay. I would have stopped the fight at some point in the movie. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead, Jace.
That's all I've got. You know, just at like the end of. You know, just like at midnight, I wanted to go to bed in the middle of this movie.
Yeah, I feel that. We're at floor 1 on the Haunted Holiday Hotel with this movie. Not a great floor. Probably close to like the brunch area.
Ooh.
So there's that. You can kind of walk out really, really quickly. You don't have to take the elevator. But not the best. Not the best for this one.
The elevator was coming down, you know, and we were outside a holiday hotel watching it come down. 10, 9.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's the drop. Yeah.
Oh, so it's like the New Year's.
Oh,
Yeah,
This
okay.
movie was the
Dramatic.
New Year's drop.
That was. So as far as my movie meter goes with this movie, this is where I'm going to struggle a little bit, guys, because this movie wasn't technically good. It wasn't technically good. But did I enjoy watching it? Oh, kind of. I kind of did. It was really fun. There's a really cheesy like 80s house band called Cry No More that did the whole soundtrack and just did really like
the 10
random
minutes that there was sound.
There was like this same like 80s pop song that played throughout the movie that kind of set the mood. There was really cheesy effects, but I also thought the effects was kind of fun. The camera work was really strange. They would just do really weird cheesy zoom ins. It was kind of like this really campy horror movie that was really lo-fi, and I found it really charming just because I don't normally watch these. There's all these awkward moments, the weird lines. That carousel, all the fight scenes were just hilariously bad. I laughed, I think, at all of them. There was a scene where they're fighting on a carousel, and I think one character just kind of jogs the perimeter of the carousel for a good 3 minutes, where he's like,
Oh my
"Stop
God.
that! Stop!" And the carousel keeps spinning, and he's following them. Just things like that throughout this movie was pretty damn funny. If someone's looking for just a really wild ass movie to watch, I might recommend this. I think it's really fun. I think if people watched it as a group, just to kind of riff tracks it, this would be just a great addition for something like that. However, yeah, bad movie. This was a direct to DVD 80s movie, or whatever they had at the time, freaking Betamax or something. It was just direct to home video. So that's kind of the quality we're batting at. I'm gonna give it a 5.
What?
Because if you want objective quality, it's gonna be around the 0.1 range. But I'm gonna bump it up because I enjoyed watching it. Shit, guys, I enjoyed watching this really bad movie. So it's gonna be the middle of the road. That's the highest I think you could possibly give this movie. I think I've given it the highest rating of its entire storied career.
I'm gonna disagree. I think I'm gonna actually disagree. Conversely, I guess I don't watch a lot of just really, really, really bad movies. I watch a lot of bad movies.
Sure.
I watch probably one Friday the 13th sequel a month on average. So, but like, I think this movie was really bad, and it was not like, I was laughing at it, right? Like, I was never laughing with it. It took itself so seriously. Like, it wanted to be the scariest movie ever. And I think it probably scared exactly 0 people. And I'm going to have to give it a 1 because I did not enjoy watching it. I watched, what did I watch? I watched Friday the 13th Part 6 last week, and I had a blast. That movie is amazing. If you think like people wandering around in the woods and getting killed in funny ways is entertaining, I would recommend Jason 6. It is so good. This movie was like everything bad about all the bad movies. It was like the fat they trimmed off of every other bad movie I've ever seen, and they just put it into one pot and served it to me and called it a movie, and I feel insulted.
I like fat.
The people who were in this movie didn't even realize they were making a movie. They were just standing around waiting for, like, I think there was like a soup truck like slightly off screen, and they were just standing in line, and they filmed their conversation, and every now and then sort of surprised them with someone in a Halloween costume and said, "Stab this lump of seaweed with this stick."
Oh, you stabbed him too hard.
I won, and there's nothing more I can say except please watch this movie.
Alrighty, Jace.
Wow. I'll come right in the middle. Right in the middle, you two, with a 3.
Okay.
And I'm going to give it that because I think it had some glaring errors in the way things were done. But I don't know. I didn't really get like it was trying to be The Evil Dead. I thought it was trying to be a bit silly. I liked some of the work that they did for the gore and some of the effects. Was watching a video. The whole kitchen scene was literally just the film being played backwards. It was some dude like flipping tables. Yeah, they were being reversed. Oh man, acting was shit.
It was shit.
You can't really say much else about it. But I thought, it was interesting enough that I felt like I was on an island the whole time. I felt like I was there with the characters, but most important, I was bored. I would tell people to watch it just because it is kind of crazy. It's out there, but it's not something I'm going to revisit.
Alrighty.
Fair.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's not a what you would call a good movie for sure.
I love talking shit about it. Like I I love talking about all these scenes independently with you guys. So I think I would welcome that conversation with anyone. And
Yes.
actually, if I had it a few more times, I was like, oh man, maybe I need to watch that again.
Good acid trip movie, you think? Probably not. Yeah, this movie had a bit of a like took a psychedelic and like this is kind of the logic now feel with it, because it was totally buck wild, so probably not advisable for this one. But with that, yeah, that was our review of Bloody New Year. But now it is time, guys, to close out our Haunted Holiday Hotel season with our final film. We talked a little bit kind of behind the recording about a potential candidate for this film. Are we feeling this candidate? Do we want to discuss other candidates? What's your guys' take on that?
I remember talking about a anthology.
Was it The Holiday?
Or just holidays?
I think Holidays. I think The Holiday was a rom-com movie.
Jack Black, yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed that movie.
Let's just watch.
You guys want to watch The Holiday? So Holidays, a Kevin Smith movie, guys. Would you want to give Kevin Smith another chance?
I don't want to give him another $4. It's rent/buy on Prime Video.
Ooh, but it's got Seth Green. So let's revisit the synopsis. This would wrap up all of the holidays. It's 9 filmmakers present horror stories that revolve around 8 different holidays: Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Easter, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Halloween, Christmas, and New Year's Eve. Released in 2016. Rotten Tomatoes score 50%.
I was like, when we first started, like a minute ago, I was like, maybe I'd rather watch something that is like one haunted holiday movie that we didn't get to watch that's like, top of its class. But I'm kind of into this.
I kind of am too. I wonder if it's a good way to kind of close things out with kind of a wrap up, a bit of a retrospective of our season, because we've taken ourselves through most of the holidays. We'll cover a couple holidays we haven't done: Mother's Day and Father's Day and Easter. And
my reservation is that anthology movies are well done when there's a thread between them all. But if it's like a hard break anthology, it's really hard to sit there for an hour and watch these things one after another. Like,
sorry, Ryan, is your concern that this movie won't be good?
I'm concerned that I won't want to watch this movie. So, like,
let me pitch it to you this way: when we talk about this whole season, and you talk about a year in review, some of the biggest portions of it are that we have each and every single holiday to look forward to. This is the Mecca. I don't think we'll ever get a chance like this in a movie review season to do this type of movie.
What about Easter Bunny Kill Kill?
So many holiday horror films that are under a 5 for the holiday that they're supposed to represent. And it's killing me. There are funny movies though.
That's fine. I just want this to be an academic environment where you have to defend your ideas.
Yeah, or we can watch a movie called Frogs.
Counter argument: Frogs.
We always have to have a backup movie in case the first person watches the first one and it's so absolute shit.
Yeah, we do need a backup movie. Backup movie Frogs.
Sure, I think that was probably Frogs. Probably going to be the one that we can't endorse.
Well, I think there will be a lot to unpack. If anything, we've got 9 swings at a holiday horror with our upcoming movie. Surely one of those is going to be a home run, but otherwise they're going to be free balls. What are they called? Free open balls? What's that thing in baseball where they get? It's not free balls, is it?
It's a ball.
I think a pinball. Like when you score enough points, you get a free ball.
No, what happens if they swing? If they swing too many? No. It's if they get too many bad pitches. What's it called?
And a strike.
A ball, right? Isn't it just called a ball?
Yes.
It's not called a free ball?
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Baseball, If the pitcher throws it and it's in the strike zone or the batter swings and doesn't hit it, it's a strike.
Okay.
Fouls and stuff.
Right.
If it's out of the strike zone and he doesn't swing, it's a ball. If you get 4 balls, you walk. I mean, you get to advance one base. And if
so when you get
a player on that base, they also get to advance.
Okay, so four balls is just a walk.
In.
That's just 2 dudes.
Too quick.
Four balls is a walk, not.
Yeah, it's a walk.
All right. Well, surely we'll get we'll either get 2 walks, or a hit somewhere in there, or 3 out.
Next week we next week
3 out.
Teach Denali what a grounder is.
Well, with that, we hope you guys will join us. We hope you guys will join us next week with our review of Holidays to close out GBGB Season 4. And of course, after Season 4, Episode 10, we have our coveted State of the Podcast episode. This will be State of the Podcast 4, our long-awaited special, where we decide the fate of, I can't believe I'm saying this, Season 5 of our show, what 10 movies we'll be watching next. But first, let's close this one out strong. We hope you guys are enjoying your New Year's. That's about when this will come out, right, you guys? It's hope you guys will have a good 2022. For those of you who are, if this is the first thing you're doing of the year, we appreciate that. If it's 12:01 on New Year's and you're listening in, just shout out to thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There's no obligation.
Just if there is. Jace, do you wanna give our social medias?
Yeah. You can find us on Instagram at Good Boys Gone Band. Good Boys Get Bad.
That's our music page, Jace. Be careful. That's not out yet.
Good Boys Gone Bland. Scat Podcast.
That's our scat group.
You can find us on Instagram at Good Boys Gone Bland Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at GBGB Podcast. We have a TikTok with 1 or 2 videos. Good Boys Gone Bland. I liked one of them.
Oh, thanks, Jace. We got a like.
And you can find us. You and anyone else who's listening can find us pretty much anywhere podcasts can be found.
I thought you say you and anyone else who's listening.
Yeah, like as in,
it could be.
We're gonna next. We're gonna tell them to tell somebody about us. And I want the listener to know that beyond Podbean, Apple, Spotify, you can find us on some weird sites. If you just Google
YouTube sometimes. Yeah,
That's
YouTube
a weird
has.
site.
Yeah, YouTube's weird, guys.
No dislikes anymore, so we can post whatever we want.
We're posting all of our episodes now that the dislike button's gone.
Our next episode is going to be titled "How to Fix 2005 GMC Envoy."
Shoot us a review.
As always,
find it in your hearts. As always, maybe make it your New Year's resolution to tell 100 people about our show.
Wow.
And subscribe to us on their phone after you.
Yeah, you tell them, and then you
use
ask.
their Face ID to open their phone.
Yeah, open their phone. Go to Apple.
And do you guys want to maybe give our audience like a New Year's resolution just to sign off on?
Ooh.
Yeah, like we can manifest one together. So, Brian, do you want to start?
Yeah. Go
Flex
your
greenhouse
on
your
neighbors
when
they
harm. Yeah, harm.
Ball
plants.
Yes,
that is something.
Yeah, if your neighbors have plants that they kill, flex your greenhouse on them.
Yeah, maybe teach them something. That's pretty good.
Plants liven up a space. So